Hello and welcome back. This is episode 22 of our Disco Elysium playthrough. Last episode we found the gloves, but we also found a dead body as well. We think it was an accident, but we're going to take it on. Yeah, just because. Now we're near the fishing village, but the church is here that was mentioned. So we're going to have a look and see what happens. Heavy wooden doors more than twice your height stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears stark in contrast with the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood. Let's rattle them. Nothing happens, the only sound of padlock rattling against the door. I don't think that's going to work. Take a close look at the padlock. The cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden floor. The lock is adorned with yellow stickers. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, the sticker is interesting somehow. Look at the sticker. You see a yellow circle with two X's and a big curve below them. Looks like your mouth. A mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes a smile and the X marks it dead. There is something blindingly modern about this symbol. Its modernness puts to shame everything you've seen before. Have you seen this symbol before? He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean before inspecting the sticker. Then he looks up and pauses and replies, no. What does it look like to you? A dead man smiling. Junior delinquency. For Revachol ZOC, the Moralitan defines junior delinquents as minors between age of 10 and 16 who have committed an active violation of the law. These acts aren't called crimes as they would be for adults. Crimes committed by minors are called delinquent acts. That was part of your officer's exam. What is suggestive of junior delinquency here? I haven't seen that sticker before and I'm not a youth. I agree, it's very modern, but does the cheery guy not know he's dead? Or does the dead guy not care that he is? There's a level of conceptual thinking that's not part of my skill set. Inspect the carpentry. The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like a church itself. Two large beams shot downwards, sinking into the wood. Run your hand over the beam. Inspect the staple. The padlock passes through a staple which has been hastily attached to the wood. Closer inspection reveals that one of the screws is not a screw at all, but a blunt nail. The work has been done recently and in unprofessional to say the least. Should you want to get through, it might be easier just to pry the whole thing off. This is where Mr. Prybar comes in handy. He takes a step back. Maybe we should circle the building first and look for another way in. The building has seen enough mistreatment. Should we start with that kick drum coming from the ice? I heard a sound before. Yes, the pulsing bass. A sure sign of junior delinquency somewhere east of here. Take the sticker. There's nothing like the sound of sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb. We'll put it in right where it belongs. Style your tape work. Looks like today was a gold star day. Alright, we'll loop around quickly. And then we can always use the pry bar to get in. We can't really go around that way. What's up here? A rock. With money on it. Money rock. These rusty gears used to turn a whole machine. The building before you housed the engine. Must have been a big one. The chain trails off into the ocean to who knows where. This barrel has recently discarded. It still smells of fuel oil. An old door worn by elements guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The sword has been open in a long while. What is it in this way? It's military, a service depot of some sort. Use a service what? Probably something that is no longer there. Lieutenant looks at the hunching concrete toad in front of him. Well, we can't open it. Alright, we're going back to the church. I don't think there is any other way in. Like around here. We already went round here. Oh, maybe down on the ice. Is this ice? Full of holes. Could the post hide treasures? Look inside. More health items. Oh, we can look in all of them. Oh, yes. Should we give some money to Kim? Doesn't appear to be anything down here relating to the church either. Must have taken a lot of patience to do this. Oh, hello. A shaggy looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Hello there.
Hello. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party. It's freezing. Where's your hat? She looks up to you distracted. Maybe she didn't hear you a little louder.
So should you.
Oh yeah. You don't have to do anything. Come to think of it, I should. Where would I get one around here?
Some kind of store? Maybe a general store. Look man, fuck the hat.
Your pulse rises. What did she just say? That's now not how a civilian is supposed to address an officer of the law. Is that kind of language really necessary?
Sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me.
There's a pained expression on her face. What's your name? Estelle? Her hair is dyed blonde with dark roots showing. There's coarseness in her features, some masculinity below the timidness. Estelle who? I'm not a youngster at this official police business. Okay, well, it's Burger. A very common name. You have little reason to doubt that's her real name, but she's not all that surprised by this cop show questioning. What's that device you have here? This? It's a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still. And the wires? Actually, just one wire. I picked it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone. What's the contact microphone? A contact mic records sounds from inside things like this ice. Your mangled brain would like to know where the box are called contact mic. Is my brain broken? Yeah, any news on my mother? No. How does it work? The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The box said it only picks up structure-born sounds. Technobabble. I had some non-mic questions. Seem surprisingly comfortable being questioned. Well, it's just questioning, right? You question me. It's what cops do. Have you been questioned before? Once or twice, yeah. I'm sorry I haven't had the River Shoal experience. They get east of the river. What's east of the river? Rich people. Rich people are east of the river. Sneer. Rich people do not stir any emotion in me, but they like it like that way. You keep them rich. So what trouble have you got into? The usual. I had a shitty run as a teenager. You know, drinking, getting into fights, the ugly stuff that happens when you're moving out of your parents' place at 13. Interesting term. Time to glean some knowledge. Why did you move out at such a tender age? My dad was a drunk. Plus, I guess just wanted to drink too, you know, get my party on. Disco partying and disco music are bad for you. You should take me as a whirling example. Alright. Empathy. What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate political opinions somewhere in Martinez. That's me, Mr. Reasonable. The air suddenly feels calmer, more transparent, in a strange, tender way. Perhaps it's a hangover, perhaps it's a temporary surge of serotonin, but something tells you it's time to choose the kingdom of conscience. Where is this kingdom? It's not a place, it's a moment. In time you can only rise in the right circumstances. In all of human history, it's only been achieved a handful of times. How do you bring about the circumstances? Incrementally. History's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world a better place too quickly. That's the genius of Dolores Dye. She recognizes that progress is meaningless if it gained a loss because of instability. Real, lasting change can only come about gradually. What's it like? It's difficult to comprehend and even more difficult to describe, partly because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define and limit is today. The kingdom of conscience is post-capitalist, post-national. It's also post-industrial, post-ideological and post-sexual. Sounds incredible. Alonzi, let's get right in there. Let's live for now, I think. What you want is immaterial. The kingdom of conscience is coming, whether you like it or not. Well, I'm sorry, but we'll just deal with the now. Painted with pastel, someone is trying to bring cheer into the world. Tent flap. This tent is a tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside 3 young men, all in forward-looking apparel, reminiscent of the sticker on the padlock, are listening to some new form music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
It's safe to assume that this is their leader.
Sorry, we barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
Poor Kim. I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
Sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
Smells like sweat and laundry detergent plus trace of ether. Canisters filled with what appears to be water, labelled distilled. The speaker, big kind they use for live music. A pile of nasal sprays, brand name Nosfred Ultra. A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harmon washed tape player, nodding along to the music. He looks at you with a knowing smile and says,
Hardcore!
Say nothing.
Hardcore!
Still say nothing.
Hardcore to the mega!
Say nothing.
Internally coherent!
Still say nothing.
Hardcore! Alright! Yeah!
He furrows his brow and his very large head traces the sublime invisible movement of the music in a very real air, stuffy tent.
Hardcore! Ah!
No, but I'm a little worried it
The
isn't.
question is, what is the question?
Just answer the
There's
question.
no question.
Could there have been a right way out of this garden forking path, do you think? You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in
Hello,
greeting.
I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Shake his hand. His grip is strong, sweaty and warm. He's trying to project and inspire
This is my
confidence.
fossil. Annoyed.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
And Egg!
He yells. The tape player high above his head continues to blast
Together with
strange music.
Burger, who's out there right now doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation. We like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
Why are you here?
See, we've been all over Jamrock North prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues. Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
What are you talking
I'm
about?
talking about the church. And I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dope heads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dope heads.
Burnouts. Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Revachol.
Strike that, the word.
And sadder yet, because the dope heads and burnouts holed up in there are the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dope heads and burnouts really are. Good, this calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those. What kind? The spooky kind. What do you mean by spooky? I was hoping you'd be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring the church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge. Also, they don't heat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse. People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place is bad signed. No one can dance like that. Thank you, Egghead. He turns to you. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter, getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the SLSTs meant their property for. We've got so many tasks. Sure, why not? Help the ravers start a nightclub. Andre is obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchange giddy looks. Did you put the padlock on the door? Yes, I asked Nord to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation. How long are the people locked in there? Not long, like a week maybe. How can you be sure they haven't starved to death? I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on, I'm at least 90%, maybe 85. Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned the term involuntary manslaughter there. Do you know what involuntary manslaughter means? Yes, I do. I listen to Channel 8 all the time. I know about crime stuff, and I assure you, officer, this is not what's happening here. I'm at least 80% sure they're alive. I mean, come on. Most people aren't even alive in their entire lives. Sounds like nonsense. You're right, it is nonsense. Total garbage. I knew you'd see through that. You're one smart cop. Give me the key. Of course. Alright, the speed freak dips his belt and produces yellow key. He then makes a sudden cool and fused move, tossing it to your direction. Just catch it. Your sense of trajectory and little piece of metal and plastic. The object falls, small ringing sound as it approaches. Catch it. Ka-ching. The key hits your palm, speed freaks onto you approvingly. Thanks, man. A respectful nod, you prove something here. Alright, there's gonna be there's gonna be a church full of dead people. What are exactly these people doing inside the church? Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. We've seen the glimpses. You haven't even seen them and you want the police involved? Well, there's also the machinery. When I first scoured the place back in February, it was abandoned, empty. It took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there. One of them has wires running into bowls of water, wires into water. Never seen anything like it. Andre, tell him about the feeling. Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark. No, the other one. Which other one? I'm not in time with my emotions as you are, Egg. It felt like silence, awful silence. We haven't physically seen anyone. Not exactly. We've just seen someone who think is a woman go in and out of the church a couple of times, and we felt someone or something eyeing us inside. Oh my god. Alright, let's go and check out this church. Let's go. You guys are weird. Oh my god. Enough dead bodies, please. If there's another dead body in there, we're just going to ignore it. Alright? Oops, sorry about that. Trash from some unending party. A pole screwed in the ice keeps the tent erect. More tribalistic markings. Pile of entronite. A pane of entronite has been planted in the snow. 2 poles are holding it up. Barely holding it. It could fall over any minute. A strong gust. What is this? It looks like a makeshift bridge. Could be convenient. We push it over. Done. Where does that take us? Oh, okay. Alright, let's deal with this church. Let's open it with a key. Let's go. A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark and into the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum in the heart of the city. Can you imagine? Like there's just corpses everywhere. Strange stillness fills you as you look ahead. You should walk here, not run. The blackboard is filled with complex equations. They look recent. Something to do with radio frequencies. They look... something to do with radio frequencies. Two decks of reel-to-reel tape spinning on empty. More of the fork lightning pattern you saw outside. Bark beetles? No, it looks intentional. Some long forgotten style. The grotesque wooden figure looks half finished. Walking is slow. This bowl is filled with water. A live wire runs directly into it. Could these wires work as a contact microphone? Some shoes. A spider spun its web around this wood curved pillar. A cracked pane of glass, colourful. No dead body. Yeah. Frost has drawn the flowers on the glass, obscuring the view. A figure drawn in the frost on the window, depicting a deer. A scarf. That would be for my neck pain threshold. Inland Empire. What's my pain threshold at 2? And Inland Empire is... 3. I'd be losing one for the other. Alright, what else have we got? The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand just in the right spot, even your footsteps would completely silent. I still hear something. And then it's gone, almost as if, but the faintest of hums. Logic. It seems that the sound here is detached from the source somehow, if not blotted and outright. Truly unusual. You can hardly hear your own breathing. Stomp your feet, clap your hands. You produce a few muffled thumps, after which silence feels even more total. Your voice is barely audible, not a howl, but the softest of whispers. Turn to Kim, what's happening? Lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head, then leans closer. Can you hear anything? Almost nothing. Alright, but it's extraordinary. I wonder why the church was built in such a strange acoustics. Something odd is happening. Lieutenant doesn't reply, but you can sense him tense up next to you. Look up at the bell tower. The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the towering overhead. Let's see if we can see what's up there. It's like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower and making its way towards you through all the other shadows. Follow the shadow's movement. It's not a shadow anymore, becoming more substantial as it gets closer. The shape of an animal descends. Officer, is there something up there? Lieutenant follows your gaze, attempting to see whatever it is you're seeing. On the ceiling? Yes, the darkness makes the ceiling feel infinitely far away. Are we going to get mauled to death? You see something hanging from the rafters. Look straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it. What the hell is that? Tiago, the shadow is a man, but the man made of the same stuff as the carpentry of the building. He's studying you intently. Hey, who's there? The man leans forward a little, fixing you with steady, unreadable gaze, then
I
speaks.
bet your alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry. Everything's gonna be alright. You've come to the right place.
The accent is Villa Lobos, a peninsula of Mesk and a district of Jamrock. There's a sizable contingent of Villabus speaking Mesk in Revachol. The right
Here
place
you
for
can
what?
receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of the bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks, and maybe the ceiling climbing too. It's all very hard to square with Lieutenant's own view of reality. Electrochemistry. Hey, and what about the bottle again? You haven't even drunk that much lately. Lay off it already. Sheesh. I've got a problem getting out of hand.
Voodoo, eh? I see deep inside you. Your body and spirit are suffering greatly from overindulgence, and you don't even know it.
I'm very touched with my
Not all of
suffering.
it. I was like you once. You don't know all the havoc el vino is wreaking on your mind and your spirit. Necesitas parar, homie.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
Adjust your tie. Who do you think you are? Some crazy guy under the roof? I feel like you have a point there.
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. I'm only the messenger, Holmes.
Do we have a new... It's been brought to your attention that you are alcoholic, and that is a sickness, and it's killing you. Crawling on your knees through life, your booze-filled belly dragging you to the ground, your brain now fuzzy, now in overdrive, your hair sticking together with today's cold sweat, yesterday's vomit. Perhaps they're right. Anything is better than this, even bone-dry reality. Maybe you can quit. Temporary. Alright, it's only 20 hours. Let's go. Let's get rid of this alcoholism. It's disappointed Kim.
This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
He sways gently on the beams, waiting for you to take it all in. Rhetoric. You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. It's just trying to throw you off your game. Composure. Whatever it is, he's quite confident about it. Just look how gracefully he sways. Drama. Not an act, my liege. Saving prehence he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot. Some ravers want to turn this place into a nightclub. The ones in the tent outside, right? I've seen them. Think they're scared of me. Do they have a reason to be scared? Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore anyway. Though he used to a long time ago. So what do you think about the nightclub? Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up in the Imbling. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company. Do you know where the other spooker is? Other spooker? Don't know, Holmes. Oh, Vehita is grandma. Wait, so there is another person living in the church? No, I just call her Vehita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not. That young. Age is one of the many masks we wear. And you don't know where she is? That's what I said, Holmes. How can you not know when you both live here? Don't really follow her coming and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. Different interests. So you got nothing else to tell me? How she looks, what she does, who is she? I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back. Or search through her radio computer. Thanks. Alright. You're a bit of a weirdo, but I'm going to run now because it takes too long to... I'm going to take her shoes. 1 to empathy. What are my current shoes giving me? I don't know what that is. That's alright. We'll put on our empathy shoes. Nice. Nice. Oh, hang on. Hang on. There's free things. $13 already. 13 real, sorry. A portable Harman washi tape recorder. It is possible it's recording something. Someone siphoning electrical current from outside into this antenna. Stained glass window. In white, silver and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She's impossibly tall, oval faced and sad. A dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Dye. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel. No. Cold wind sweeps from the crack of the glass. Snow drifts over the floorboards at your feet. Above you, you feel her multicolour eyes upon you, inspecting you. Look up. The woman looks down at you standing there. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips, and a glint in her green-blue eyes of what? Compassion? Remorse? She acknowledges the passing of someone who's still alive. It's morning. And that terrible word passes through your mind. Lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder. Do the same. Alright, your fingertips touch your chest 4 times, and you stand in the apricot-coloured light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles her distant smile. This is Dolores Dye. The old woman in the village was right. This must be the Dolores Church of Humanity in Martinez, or a small Pinewood church in some records. You knew of the place? It's a minor landmark, not easily to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revachel's founding, 300 or so years ago by first-generation settlers. On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago where only animals roam before in wild reeds. What else do you know? There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sepsals, they call them, the 7 sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in revolution or used for building materials. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find anything connected to the lynching here. Something else, perhaps. He looks around the machinery. Kim, are you a follower of Dolorianism? Yes, we all are. Her name, body and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are Dolorian in origin. I didn't think you were spiritual. It's not spiritual, it's constitutional. The Dolorian system does not demand faith, only accordance. How did I know this was mother of humanism? Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. The innocence of humanism, internalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being ever have lived. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still, and will haunt you forever, as it haunts all men. What is innocence? The highest category of a historic individual, embodiment of a world spirit. A tyrant? In a way, an innocent is elected to office by the founding party, a precedent that has taken place a mere 6 times in entire history. The legal system of a real belt is built from ground up, accommodate innocentic rule, should be coincide with our time. An innocent is infallible. The decision made by one are not decisions. They are inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway? Only accelerated, packed into decades instead of centuries. An innocence is a continuous, compressed event. A sacred human being. It is an honor and a glory to live when one is in office. Is one in office now? No, we are alone. When did she rule? 300 years ago, in the wake of discovery of this Iola, the Interlindian, by explorers from the continent of Mundai. She is among other things the innocent of intersolary travel and connected world. What else do I know about her? Many things. You know she was a woman of the court, a wife of an influential marquise, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene Le Navigateur, Queen of Circene, modern-day Sir Clef. Also that she was gorgeous beyond beauty. Was she smart? Terribly. Women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess sufficiently as well to prove interesting challenge to men. A similar grasp in matters of philosophy, theology and science was encouraged. She was by all means a kept woman. She made the most of her position in antediluvian court, a court visited by the most prominent thinkers and artists of the day. In secret, she was becoming the era's preeminent philosopher of the state. A scalpel, a piercing gaze. She was almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she had appeared out of time, a messenger from the future of the species. We all fell in love with her, head over heels. Even before she was declared an innocent, her influence was tremendous. It was her advice that Irene Lenaviga sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale, a costly, often tragic endeavour, ultimately vindicated by the discovery of the new world, the piece of reality you're standing on. She was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in motion what is widely considered the greatest era in history, the DeLorean era. Wow. Wow indeed. When her innocence was declared, the Queen said she had advised for years, fell on her knees before her. She was so overcome with emotion that her lungs started glowing in her chest. Bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit chamber around her, clearly visible beneath her dress. That is why the lungs are the symbol of love and cultures of the Real Belt. I want more. As did we all. The lands of Mesk and the Occident and even faraway Supermundi. Altogether, 21 of the 40 medieval nations of the time immediately accepted Innocent's rule, even before her crowning. Her crowning in a city called Avdisparsit in Vespa Messina, her homeland. The name of the city means evening comes, but it happened on a winter morning, with the canals frozen and slush falling out of the sky. She was dressed in white and pearl dress on the empty out plaza, with her crowd far away. Already her Therias, a secret serviceman of the Innocent, were worried about an assassination attempt. She must have been beautiful. Oh yes, she looked like humanity's young mother. A perfect mother, insultingly beautiful. It was as if her face and shoulders and hands were covered in soft down of underfeathers. You know this well, very well. Midwinter snow was beating the cobblestone around her. A small attaché of officials stood by her, Darius placing white gold wreath on her head. The crowning was mostly witnessed by Secret Service men. Then what? One of the men in the Secret Service killed her 22 years later. A young man who had come to suspect that Dolores Dye was not entirely human, but something else. What? Something that had walked in our midst, watching us stumble for hundreds, if not thousands of years, until it decided to interfere in the course of our history. We were supposed to come up with this ourselves, the man was reported to have screamed at the Innocent. Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece 8 times. The man, thought to be insane, said he once touched her and her body had been unnaturally warm, like a furnace, and that sometimes while on duty he observed her forgetting to breathe for over 10 minutes. This inhuman quality was witnessed by many others as well, glowing lungs and all. It is commonly attributed to the mass hysteria of religious psychology. But she was not hell. She's the opposite of that, the wind of paradise, stripping away the covers from the hearts of men. There you stand below her once more with your hands on your side, momentarily at a loss as to what to do with yourself. Let's try and fix the thing. A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you, ghostly reconstructing the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one, and a text. What shattered this mosaic? Unknown. A motor carriage, a gunshot, someone falling into it, or maybe just hooligans looking for something to break. Who is this older woman? The escutcheon on her throne says Irene the Navigator. She's depicted as an older woman wearing a thick rim eyeglasses, holding a golden receptacle in one of her hands and a scepter in the other. This queen, her Innocence Day advised, above she herself is whole. Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up the stairs and stand at her feet. Secret Servicemen, Therias, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all detail. The motto, what does it say? Below both women in luminous black letters, Après la vie mort. Please translate it. After life, death, after death, life again. After the world, the pale, after the pale, the world again. This is the great leitmotif of humanism, a summary of the effect of discovery of this Iola, the interlude Indian, on human thinking, a tremendous sea change akin to finding life after death. Lieutenant, this is say life after death. Death, life again. After the world, the pale, the world again. The exhilaration is common in DeLorean sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated in the RCM slogan, no more, however. Why? It was deemed subservient to use a strongly Moliton-related motto. Already suspected of bootlicking, the sentence was also seen as too feminine. It was a macho thing. What's the motto now? Justice, union, prudence, and force. I like the other one better. So do I. We're bonding. Wow. Alright, let's go hack the computer. A machine stands in the corner watched over by the figurines of the stained glass. It turned out, quivering with soft electricity. Another radio computer, says Lieutenant stepping closer, and this time it's already turned on. These machines sometimes harbour traps, he thinks, alarm systems and the like. Let's be careful. We should leave. I doubt this bears any connection to the case. Let's have a look. You see Viscerant play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connection to the central compartment is wide open. Lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine glowing, framed reflected. Look inside the compartment. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filament, smouldering in the dark like fireflies, silver tape on the side and back. Another filament memory. Press play to talk with the repeater. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds like 100 years old. Good afternoon, Fortress Accidents on St. Bernard. This is East Insular Repeater. Please repeat. Is this the personal log? It's the same old woman you spoke with at the Doom commercial area. I looked inside the call, but the tape on the filament just said log Feb May. Good, please repeat the password. Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer. Maybe he knows something. The lieutenant nods towards Tiago. Alright. Let's go. Let's go talk to Tiago. Hello.
Oh, hey, wait. There's coffee in the back. Oh, wait. I meant the mother's love.
Coffee in the back. Something familiar about that coffee and stale cookies. How, was that? I heard it before. Look, man, I'm at liberty to talk about the sacred blaze of Mother's glorious heart, but not about the coffee. Have you heard the Vegeta say password to a radio computer? Too many times. You need it for something? Surveys are the good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety. I want to do a survey. Passcodes, identify regional trends. Don't sweat it, Vito. The password is afterlife, death. Did you climb down from the church tower? Are you human? You weren't moving like a human. I am, at least in part, Holmes, until the mother's love burns away the crude distinctions of the body. What does he mean in part? Ubiderio. No, Holmes, I don't go in for that kind of thing. It's all about surrendering to the mother now. You sound like you're not from around here. Haven't you ever met a Mesk before? Surprising number of us around Revachol. You know, I'm not sure myself anymore. Doesn't really matter. Or at least you're human, that's a relief. Glad you're feeling more comfortable. What are you doing here? This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up here. A way out into nothingness. This church was built around it for the purpose of veneration. The Mother of Silence, you mean? Her. No. There's a new god in town and she can't be painted or sculpted because there has no limbs or even a face. She's the end. She's a cavity in the dark, beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes. Are these yours? I think they were a long time ago. I had to shed them like skins to get closer. You can have them. I don't need them anymore. They look pretty dapper, actually. Alright. We will come back to you, I imagine, Tiago. That was interesting conversation. However, I'm still not sure how it's relevant to our investigation. Come on, Kim. Have you not learned yet that we don't really have a plan? We're kind of just going from one thing to another. Press play again. Let's try this again. I think I may have the right password. Afterlife, death. Good. I've unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament. Thank you. Let's hit print. The printer prints out a long text. Read the printout. The first entry made on the 4th of February by an unknown author is short and concise. Arrived at the church, the doors boarded up, so I used a crowbar to get inside. Looked like the place had been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity in. Lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading, he looks up, muttering under his breath. 4th of February, that's over a month ago. Whoever set up these machines has been here for quite a while. Read the second one. Had a little chat with the local fisherman, said I shouldn't go near that place. The church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. A little spooky, alright, still haven't figured out the electricity. See, even one of the spookers themselves says unnerving. Finally got the electricity, and next is the agenda, new antenna. I'm thinking Eska series, something advanced. Why would she need an antenna? Why would anyone need any of this equipment here? He steps on a wire running on the ground, inspecting it with his boot. Brought the antenna, had some problems setting it up, called Simo for help. Heard the others out back making art, drinking somewhere out of town. Stanislaw started a rock band again. Lexi's been seen asking money from strangers. But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labour, they can get work anywhere, graphic designs, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers, the writers though, they're fucked. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how I managed to wipe the back out when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right. Data loss. Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about them to understand what the author is saying. Something about backing data getting destroyed and how everyone thought it was just the author's fault. Let's just keep reading. Bought some food from the grocery store. Apparently there's a strike going on in the harbour. Definitely not happy to see Martinese people again. Everything now set up in the church, going to start working tomorrow at 8 a.m. The strike, we're nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading, I'm interested now. I want to know where this radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It's swallow sound. Need to get some mics. Is she talking about the... looking towards the silence? Yes, the first recording confirms that the Swallow is real, and I'm not losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence with the diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here. The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk? But what could it be? The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basin. The water shines, no ripples. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I'm trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music, one neo-disco song over and over again. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good, I don't want anyone distracting me from my work. That disco man must be a cell. The girl on the ice sounds like her, yes. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of the curse. How Martinez of her. That's me. I was the one who broke into the radio computer. I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with that machine. No, it was a great idea. You're learning things. This is how you learn about the machines. A new 2M aux cable, noodle, crackers, ping energy drinks, toothpaste, gum, and also some canned air. Your reading is interrupted by the sound of the church door opening. Sooner the programmer. Busted.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
She glares at you as she holds down the off button for several seconds. The machine reboots. Yes, you are breaking in, but not into her radio computer. You're a master circuit bender.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
We're in the side case representing certain music. We're not just breaking in, I'm pursuing mysteriously, searching for my lost identity. I can assure you I'm an expert circuit bender. I'm not breaking into your computer. I'm using it to access coalition military data links.
There are no coalition military data links. And even if there was, you couldn't access them over a civilian network.
I'm using network to man the coalition Archer. You're right, I'm just a drunk cop.
No one asked you to do anything interesting with my radio computer.
She barely looks up from the keyboard. You hear the machine whirl back to life.
Now, please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted the machine.
We're in an upper level. That's the -2 because of the thoughts that we're doing. What else is low? Suggestion. Alright, actually, what do we need to level up to retry? We'll do that after. Let's talk to her and then we'll... You done?
What is it?
I didn't break anything, did I?
No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper.
Hey, you the lead program of Rural Unearthed by any
Yes.
chance?
Or no, not anymore. That project is dead.
She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized, rather sad. Something passes over her face before she straightens her back. Sorry, but who are you?
I am Sona Lukanen Hilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis languages. If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how can I help you.
Logic, did she say over 16 years of experience? She must have started programming when she was still a teenager. Reaction speed, that still doesn't answer what she's doing in the abandoned church. Have you seen the man living up in the rafters? No. But you know he's around. Yes. He's seen you. And? Okay, it's probably not a big deal then. No, you're right, I'm not. Why are there so many machines in this place? I bought them here. They're my machines. Please don't touch them. Why do you need an antenna? I use the AR1 as my RIM perfect processing unit. I don't understand. RIM is perfect for my radio computer.
Yes, what is it?
What are you doing in an abandoned church? You really like those questions, don't you? I'm a police officer. It's my job to ask questions. I'm conducting a scientific research here. You can't throw me out, she says, ready to stand her ground. What research? I'm looking for the location of 2mm hole in the world. Wait, what? She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what her personal log said. Lieutenant raised an eyebrow but doesn't say anything. Is this hole connected to the data loss in your journal? Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that. A hole in the world. Exactly what does it mean? There's something frantic about her and she locks her gaze with you, eyes shining like pearls. Up to now it's been impossible to say what it is because it's impossible to measure nothing. What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that does not exist? She's suddenly absorbed in the conversation, waiting for your answer. Easy. You measure it by the world around you. You measure it by collecting data on the surroundings on that which exists. Exactly. Very true. That's what I've been aiming for, and that's why I have those basins. I've tried using hydrotransducers to record the silence to find out where it begins. But honestly, it's not progressing very well. Do you have any idea where this hole might be located? Somewhere underneath the roof beams, I assume. She looks up, trying to pierce the pitch black heights above. Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from the dark. Why there? There's this place at the back of the church, a place where all audible vibration seems to decrease. I've named it the Swallow, and the higher you go, the less you record. The Pillar of Silence. Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk? Maybe, but it's oddly close to physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place. That's where the Crabman lives. I know. You don't think the Crabman might be responsible? No, I don't. You said it's not going well. Because it's just a trial and error trying to locate the Swallow, the exact point in space. And I don't have a, you know, what it would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work. How do you feel about a note dance music? What? I hate it. I bet she hasn't even heard it. Doesn't connect like disco does. Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it. But to a sober mind, it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping. No idea what this has to do with either dancing or music. How do you feel about a club for dance music? This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? She looks up, shaking her head. I've got some news for you. It's not a nightclub they want to build here. What do they want to build then? Take a guess, why don't you? Maybe some community space to help the elderly. They say it's their dream. I can't believe they got you so easily. Go have a talk with those up-and-coming entrepreneurs, will you? Good luck. I'm not coming in there. But there's 2mm hole again. Nope, that's fine. Alright, church is done. Alright. We might wrap this one up here. We'll go back and talk to those kids next episode. It's 3:30. God, there's so much to do each day. We went up a level as well. We might do that quickly before. These are all locked. So what do we need to do? Rhetoric. Rhetoric is important. We need to get that. We need to get that up because we need to get that murder sorted. So let's upgrade our rhetoric. Where are you? You're already at 6. Is it getting too high? And high level will make you an impressive political beast, one whose beliefs are impenetrable, which is to say one whose mind will not change, one who will calcify. With low rhetoric though, you have a hard time of shooting down any argument. I think we need to. We need to talk to Titus. We'll try and get that container door open again. Alright, lots to do. Any advice for the channel or for the series would be greatly appreciated. Apart from that, thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time.